Welcome to The Big Idea on Yahoo Finance, sponsored by PayPal. Howdy, y'all. I'm Elizabeth Gore. Welcome to The Big Idea from Yahoo Finance, the show that navigates the world of small business and entrepreneurship. As a co-founder of the small business funding platform Hello Alice, it has always been my mission to help ensure entrepreneurs have the tools they need to succeed. So let's cowboy up. Today's big idea question is, how do I decide where to sell first, online, wholesale, or retail? Our industry focus will be food and beverage, specifically cupcakes. Yum. Joining us today to talk about this is founder and CEO of Baked by Melissa Ben-Ishay. Melissa took one pink frosted idea and turned into a nationwide brand. You've probably tasted her tie-dyed, bite-sized cupcakes and made one of her viral salads on TikTok. Melissa didn't just build Baked by Melissa, she built a movement. And it all started one day in her apartment in New York City the day she got fired. There is no one to answer the big idea question, how do I decide where to sell first, online, wholesale, or retail? All right, Melissa, thank you for coming on the show. It's so awesome to have you.
It's so awesome to be here.
Tell me about getting fired.
Oh, man, it was the best thing that ever happened to me, of course.
And the rest of us, whoever that ding-dong was, thank you.
Yeah, they did me a favor. They did us all a favor.
Yeah.
Obviously, I didn't feel that way at the time, but I did know that I was not passionate about the work I was doing.
Mm-hmm.
And even though it felt very unjust in the moment, I wanted to find something that made me feel fulfilled at the end of every day. So I was fired on a Wednesday at 10 a.m. I went right to my brother's office crying. He said, "Don't worry, it's the best thing that ever happened to you." And ultimately, we decided I should go home and bake cupcakes because at the time I was baking my tie-dye cupcakes for anyone and everyone. If it was your birthday and I loved you, I baked you cupcakes.
How do you grow a company this large but keep that authenticity?
That's a great question. It's love is the short answer, and grit and resilience. There's like a John Lennon quote. His mom asked him what he wanted to be when he grew up, and he said happy. And I so relate to that. Like, working hard towards something I love is my happiness, which translates into success, right? I am rich in all of the most important things. Like, money aside, I don't consider myself rich. I'm still working for, where I want to be, but I get to work hard with like-minded, passionate people towards shared goals and sell a product that gives my customer the ability to send their love. And it all stems from my love for this incredible product that only continues to get better. And that's hard to come by in the perishable goods space, especially today. But I love my team. I just find such incredible fulfillment in working hard towards something I love with amazing people.
So I'm curious about, you said you had co-founders, and I find that small business owners, they're so great at their craft of baking or sewing or childcare, but then the business itself is so hard. The finances, the accounting, the P&L, the hiring. And I'm curious how you balanced your craft with the actual core functions of the business.
Yeah, well, I think I'm in a very unique position because I wasn't the CEO when we founded Baked by Melissa. On the contrary, my older brother, my big brother, was my CEO, and he told me what to do. And he, in those very early days, built the team, and I had the privilege of learning through watching him. And then we actually hired another CEO when my brother moved on to continue to be his entrepreneurial self. And I had the privilege of learning from my next CEO. And then I didn't even think I wanted to be CEO. That is true, actually. I didn't think I was capable of it, which is such a shame. And I think why I'm so passionate about sharing my story and being my genuine and authentic self. I didn't believe I was capable of being the CEO of the company that bared my name. Why? I'm still not sure, but I am so fortunate that things happened and we had no CEO effective immediately, and my board put me in this role. And
they believed in you.
They believed in me when I didn't believe in myself. And I just think that my journey is so unique. I was also told in the early days of Baked by Melissa what I wasn't good at, and that I am the face of the brand and I must always lead by example, and everything I do is put under a microscope. And the eternal optimist that I am saw that as an opportunity to be my greatest self. I am being my best version of me for a greater good than just for me, for my team and for this business that I've created that I'm so lucky to have. So I kind of had to earn my confidence, which is probably the opposite of most entrepreneurs or founders. And then when I came into this role of CEO in 2019, I kind of proved myself to myself. And I would say I'm best at knowing what I don't know, which is unique, I've learned. And I love to be wrong because if I'm wrong, that means they're right, and that's good. Right? Like it means
I love that
further
flip.
opportunity.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And so I think the combination of those two things, and it's kind of led me to where I am today, and Baked by Melissa to where we are today. And it's just the best.
Well, now that you've been at the helm of both CEO and I'm just going to call you Chief Baker, do you have advice for the business owner who are just getting started and they're trying to juggle the time on the craft versus we'll just call it the P&L?
Yeah, I would say get people to do everything that you don't need to do. And I would challenge the need. Like, what do you need to do? Today, I am still working towards, having my team do everything I don't absolutely need to do. Like those areas where I can uniquely add value, that's the only place I should focus my time. And I should have a team around me that does everything else better than me.
Great advice. Great advice. So our big idea question today is, as a business owner, how do I decide whether I go, when I'm going to market, straight to consumer, retail, or wholesale? And I'm curious how you made those decisions in the early days.
Well, in those early days, it was very much by chance. So I was fired from my job. I went home and I baked my cupcakes. I had my best friend's little sister staying with me at the time while she interned at a PR agency. I sent the cupcakes I baked the night I was fired into work with her because she worked at a PR agency that was known for hiring all women who got dressed fancy. And I was like, Carly, if nothing else, you'll make new friends with these cupcakes because all girls love cupcakes. And I was right. And the next day she was like, oh my God, everyone's losing their shit over your cupcakes. And the owner of the agency wants to put you in touch with her caterer. And that's really how I got my first business, by doing events with the caterer of this PR agency, who later became my co-founder. That was our first revenue channel, if you will. And then I was going on tastings in different places in New York City, whether it was businesses and or homes of this caterer's friends and, people who spend money on cupcakes for events and things like that. And I went on a tasting to Cafe Barry, which was at the time on the corner of Broadway and Spring Street in Soho. The owner of the cafe tried the cupcakes, loved them, and he wanted to sell them out of a booth in the Holiday Market in Union Square. So that became our first
next channel,
our first retail. Yes.
Okay.
And e-commerce, everyone wanted to be able to get our cupcakes delivered. And my brother, when we founded Baked by Melissa, he had also started earlier, like a year or two before that, an interactive agency where he was building websites for people with one of our childhood friends. And the two of them really built the Baked by Melissa website while I was doing those events. For the first event, actually, we had e-commerce. So we had e-com using PayPal. Like it was totally different than it is today.
Right.
I would have to match up the order confirmation and the payment confirmation to determine
Thank
what
God
was real.
for PayPal.
Yes,
Oh my gosh.
Yes. But, we continue to expand based on where there's appetite. And I think it's super important to listen to your customer and see how people engage with your product, pay attention to your margins, and then determine what makes sense.
We'll be right back with Melissa on The Big Idea. Thanks again to PayPal for sponsoring this episode of The Big Idea on Yahoo Finance. I love their Buy Now, Pay Later feature. It is the perfect tool to boost sales this holiday season and give your customers more flexibility to pay. I am thrilled to announce that Hello Alice is partnering with PayPal on the Main Street Rising Awards. Nominate your business or one that you love today to gain access to exclusive in-person events, nationwide recognition, and for a lucky few, grant funding. Head over to mainstreetrisingtour.com to turn in your nominations today. Howdy, y'all. Welcome back to The Big Idea. I'm Elizabeth Gore here with Melissa and our cupcakes. Melissa, you have a powerful following, not just for what we put in our mouths, but what we see and read on social media. How should a small business owner really leverage social for their business?
I think every business is unique and different. I happen to have a beautiful product. And so when Instagram first came out, we would post pictures of our product and use social media as a peek behind the scenes of our brand. So I had made this silent promise to myself after Instagram came out that when another channel of social media emerges, I'm going to be at the forefront. I'm going to learn how to use it and then go from there. TikTok was the next one, and it was COVID, and my team was posting content of the cupcakes, and I didn't like it, and it wasn't doing well. And rather than just telling them that, I decided to figure out how to use TikTok, learn how to use the app, and then I'd be able to give them actionable feedback. So like I would make dinner or dessert and I would film it and then post it to a burner account, Melissa Ben-Ishay. And those videos started performing better than the Baked by Melissa videos. So on a whim, I was making a salad for dinner and you know what, I'm going to film it. I'm going to post it from Baked by Melissa's TikTok. And I went to sleep. And the next morning I woke up, it had 20 million views.
What?
And I immediately saw the opportunity.
This is bananas.
It's bananas. But I immediately understood the opportunity to build a community of people who come to me for something. People go to social media to be inspired, to learn, and to connect. Mm-hmm. And so I immediately saw that opportunity when that one salad went viral. And I've been posting a recipe a day for the 5 years since then.
Amazing.
I've grown my social media following exponentially. I've written 2. I'm working on my 3rd cookbook. I created a new department within my business that drives incremental revenue through brand partnerships, and it is so fun. So this incredible community of people have really breathed new life, not only into me, but also Baked by Melissa and my team, and it's magical. That's amazing.
So much love.
Yeah.
So Melissa, you've done a lot of great partnerships, and I'm curious on when is a partnership successful or even more important, when is it important to walk away?
We've been doing brand partnerships since we founded Baked by Melissa. I remember we did a cupcake for a Justin Bieber album and Katy Perry and launches of television shows and really awesome things, but never in my wildest dreams would brands pay us to just really for our reach, essentially. So I created a product, an additional product at Baked by Melissa that we didn't have before, which is content. And now brands reach out to us for our reach. But unlike most influencers or creators, it's not my core business, and I don't need to do it to pay the bills. It's a nice to have. And so I really only work with brands that I love and believe in and can genuinely and authentically really speak to, because I've built this community of people that I trust. And at the end of every video, I tell them I love them because I do so much. So for me, when we get on a call with a potential brand partner, which happens all the time, it's simple. It's what are you looking to achieve? What is your goal? And if it's in line with our goal, and I believe that there's a way to achieve both, then we move forward. It isn't most, It's few, but I think that is why our community really loves the content that we put out and the brand partnerships that we do decide to move forward with, because they're truly authentic and each one is different. There's no, mold or like strategy for it's each one unique.
So on this show, we talk about the dirty unicorn. So it's our biggest mistakes we've made in business. What's one you can share with us that we can all learn from?
I didn't believe in myself.
Ooh, and you're so freaking awesome.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I find that, not to be super general, and it's not the case for every single man and every single woman, but I do think that women tend to not give ourselves enough credit.
I agree with that completely.
Whereas men give themselves too much credit. And I mean, I see that through my own experiences with Baked by Melissa, where, what makes anyone more qualified for the role of CEO than me?
Mm-hmm.
And I think for whatever reason, whether it's ego or confidence that was drilled into men from the time they were born, like they feel like they can do it. Whereas women, on the other hand, like I didn't believe in myself. Like, what was I looking to do? What did I need to do to prove to myself that I could be the CEO? So I think I was very lucky, but I also think it's really important. Well, women not going after everything the way men would do. I think we absolutely should. And I share my story as a way to empower women to go after it, because I should have gone after it. Shame on me. And also, by nature, because we're not like men in that sense where we're like too careful, I think it makes us even more powerful.
Absolutely.
Like when a woman approaches a problem or sets out to accomplish something, like we don't just assume that we have the answers. We're seeking the information necessary to get the information to then solve the problem or whatever. So yeah, women are elite and we can do anything.
I agree with that. You're famous for talking about all hustle. I want you to say a t-shirt that just says all hustle. Or can we have the all hustle cupcake?
I hustle too much, honestly. Yeah.
Well, what do you mean by that?
I work a lot.
Mm-hmm.
I love it though. And it's such an interesting, I work, my husband will be like, okay, calm down. Like, I don't know how to do nothing. But I think that's in my DNA. Like my dad is kind of like that.
Your whole family sounds entrepreneurial. Your brother.
Yes, my whole family is entrepreneurial. But there's no line, it's like my whole life and everything I do. So my therapist told me I'm addicted to productivity and I need to chill the out. And
yet another shirt. I'm addicted to productivity.
And be okay doing nothing.
Yeah.
I cannot. I will not. But
I don't want you to stop baking though.
Oh,
what
never.
Are we gonna do?
Oh, never.
About that?
Never.
Okay. So going back to the question, direct to consumer, wholesale, or retail, can you give some advice on a business owner who is thinking about that question? Like if they only have enough money to start in one channel, how do they think about that?
I think you got to think about your customer.
Talk for a while so I can eat this.
I think you have to think about your customer and where are they looking to get you, get your product, and where is the biggest opportunity. It's different for every business. It's so hard to say. But I think the margin is probably best direct to consumer. Unless we're crazy. Like we're vertical. We manufacture our product. Like we do everything ourselves.
Yeah.
So it was natural for us to start shipping our product. We were baking our product and people wanted to send it as a gift. We make the perfect gift for literally anyone and everyone. You know what I really want to do? I'm just looking at this right now. Oh, but I'm going to take the only one. But I'm going to do it. I'm going to have sugar cookie dough.
Oh my God, she's double stacking people. This is getting crazy in here.
Sandwich.
She's double stacking. So I'm curious, anytime you have a question, like do you poll your customers or talk to them?
Our customers inform our business strategy.
Okay.
In so many ways. And especially in those early days.
Right.
We would hear from like mothers who they would say that their kids are gluten-free or dairy-free. And they couldn't have our cupcakes when the kids brought them in to celebrate birthdays. And it made them feel so bad. So we made gluten-free, and then we made vegan. We heard that people wanted our product to be kosher certified, so we got kosher. We're okay kosher certified. And yeah, I mean, who better to learn from than your customer? Which, if you're emotionally attached to your product like I am, sometimes it's hard to hear the feedback, but you gotta grow some thick skin and get
just
on
do
with
it.
Yeah.
By the way, the peanut butter one, holy crap, it was so good. So coming all the way back to the beginning and the end, that moment where you decided, okay, I just lost my job, I have something I'm passionate about, but I'm going to make a business out of it. And I know your brother was the tipping point, but this was your decision. What was that last little tipping point? Because so many of our women founders are just waiting for the right time, and maybe there isn't a right time. I'm just curious how you made that final decision.
There was no final decision. I like to be busy, and I didn't have a job, so I was continuing to do everything I could to make this dream of baking cupcakes for a living a reality. I was simultaneously meeting with recruiters and trying to get jobs in advertising because, that's who I am. Like, keep all your options open and do everything you can to make your dream come true. I equate it to, you're about to jump off a cliff and go skydiving. You as you walk towards the edge of the cliff, you're checking everything. You're making sure you're being super responsible, but then you have to jump.
Right.
So, it got to a point where there were orders that I needed to fulfill and tastings that I would be, cold calling and baking. And it became a full-time job while I was still looking for other jobs. So it was kind of okay.
Well, I can't thank you enough, one, for coming on The Big Idea, feeding all of us, and bringing your story and your joy. Thank you very much for coming on The Big Idea.
Thank you for having me.
At the end of each episode, I like to give a shout out to a small business who is doing amazing work. So today, I'd like to shout out one of Melissa's favorites, Ground Up Nut Butters. They are a not-for-profit business that provides job training to women overcoming adversity in Portland, Oregon. So make sure to give them love at grounduppdx.com. For Melissa for coming on the show and bringing cupcakes. Thanks all of you for joining us. We hope you've learned a lot. This has been The Big Idea from Yahoo Finance. Please make sure to scan the QR code below to follow Yahoo Finance podcasts, or check us out at The Big Idea wherever you get your podcasts. You can also come say hi to me at any of my social channels at Elizabeth Gore USA. I'm Elizabeth Gore, and as my grandma always said, hold your head up high and give them hell. See you next time.
This content was not intended to be financial advice and should not be used as a substitute for professional financial services.